You're praying for a faster life. And so, the identity of everything comes within the idea of throwing sorrow. Your ideas of tomorrow won't come within the blast of a second, but you'll try to make it into every indescribable moment. The so-called peacock of the second, and the so-called idea that you're going to make everybody throw into the grovel pit. Because groveling is the idea, isn't it? Groveling. Multitudes. Ideas where you just construct things that just sort of make everybody else embrace it. But making everybody else embrace things is a very easy concept, because you think it's not easy, but it's very easy. What is the most thing that you could do? Take an emotional state of somebody and just break it down. But maybe you don't want to break it down to the point where you have no return, because sometimes you just break down things without knowing about it. That's the easiest way, because you don't want to accept it. If somebody disagrees with you, you expect them to say it. But then also you expect them not to say anything when you come down on them before they say anything. So if you come down on something before you know anything about somebody else, then the idea comes before the concept, and you're going to break them down into the concept of the idea. So then there's nothing else left within their pitiful selves, right? Is that it? Is that the identity? Yes, of course. You cannot flatulate anything else. You cannot fluctuate into any other direction. Instead, you just break them down within the concept. That's the whole idea, breaking them down. Yeah, you're going to break them down. Yeah, with your ego and your boasting and your bolstering ego and everything else, because that's the easiest thing to do. Ideas come within the concept of your mind. Yeah, oh, we're so great, we're humans, we're so great, and not misanthropic wise. No. Fuck that, that's not going to do anything, because if it was, it would have done something a long time ago. How many people are misanthropic? How long has misanthropy been around? Please, the concept of it is breaking down every single concept of the ego, because the ego creates even more so when you hate humanity. Now, if you loved humanity, literally, the concept of misanthropy actually helps the ego even grow larger. It doesn't help destroy the ego of the humans, it makes it worse. Because then you're so cynical and sarcastic, you don't even know how much of an ego you have anymore. You've broken down every single parameter of everything now. And you've accepted the large magnitude of holidays, presidential holidays, Martin Luther King Jr. holidays, that were created not by the people individually, no, but the government. Yes, of course. The concept of ideas comes through that. Because the most misanthropic person will tell you, I still trust government. Hold it a second there, that's a human-created thing, through an ego. And you're telling me you trust them? Oh, wait, then that proves that you're not really misanthropic. You're just misanthropic towards the people that are not in power. That's the idea. That are not empowered at all through the conveniency of your majority thought. So then the idea comes within the concept of misanthropy doesn't really break anybody, and doesn't really break humanity, because humanity already has a broken shot in the liver and everywhere else. The concept of gouging eyes out doesn't even work anymore through horror movies, because instead you have to grow inside the pancake realm of an idea, and then you try to break them down with the raspberries, the cranberries, the oranges, the grapes, everything else, but all of them go ape shit and just say forget you, because now you just hate them. And that's not fixing anything, is it, buddy? And then you just sort of rinse your eyes out and say, maybe it's not the right way to do things. Maybe having individual thought, individual ideas, and not using a majority thought is going to work anymore. So instead we should try the opposite, but the opposite effect deflects and sort of throws you into the tunnel vision, and then you just kind of say, well, I'll just accept this tunnel vision for now. And then you just sort of make everything work within the confines of your mind, because then that's the best way. You don't have to worry about anything else if you do that, because then you kind of just create everything through your magnanimous self, but then the magnanimous self also destroys itself, because you have to find the genuflection of everything within the pop culture and just sort of break it down into everything that you've written, or talked about, or wrote, or poetically said, or poetically meant, or rapped, or everything else, or even sung about in a song. Because see, this is the identity. You have to use everything together, because you can't create original concepts, pretentious, cliched. You can't use that, because then they just come back within the rabbit hole and just kind of say, those rabbit ears are sticking out of the hole, and you're like, oh god, I hate seeing those rabbit ears. I hate when people are pretentious and use new ideas, or are too cliched. And that's what's done. The considerable concept of people trying to be original can't even work anymore. But see, you have to create things within a larger scape of laughter. But not the larger scape of laughter where you're just trying to do bad jokes throughout the whole episode. No. You have to have a situational concept where it goes throughout everything and just has this little bleeps of seconds that go boom, 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 like a heartbeat. But not as fast as a heartbeat. You could go really slow. Have heartbeats within 10 20, 30 seconds of each other. Even more. You could probably do a minute without it. And then you just have that boom boom, the concept broken into the backyard, because that's what you need to make everybody laugh. That's what you need to make everybody pay attention. You can't have that within a confined measurement of your writing, as I do, because my own writing has a situational concept of soap opera on wheels that just sort of drives. Unlike most soap operas that just sort of slow down. Mine has this operation to just go and then very much slow down, have this slower pace, and then stop again, and then boom, have that really slow pace. So it drives you to the end very slowly and breaks at the end into this fast curmudgeon. So there you go. Break your concept of an idea. So you're going to find it easy, aren't you? Because you're not going to find anybody else. Your concept of flowery indignity won't make you any stronger. You're going to have something else to make yourself. Oh, the shadow guard. The dark clouds. The heavenly sorrow. Yeah, you can see it alright. You can see your own concepts dying. Because you just want to take apart everything, don't you? Don't you? You little shuttermonger. You little Venetian blind. You don't want any of this anymore. You just want to close down. For the station, for the mark, for the train. You don't want to even allow it anymore. Don't need it. Because suddenly, you don't want to go anywhere. Take it away, soldier. Yeah, I can find it very easy. Compartmentalization. I don't want to find you out. That's how easy it is, isn't it? Oh, the identity, the crisis of it. And then you just never want to see it, do you? That's enough of that. Doo-wop. Bam! And then you break into the concepts of everything else. Confines won't make you come back. But everything else will. That's the sad part. Everything else does. Everything else brings that dog back to the bee on the flower. Except confines. Except having those walls. Sometimes those walls are just too much, aren't they? For your happiness, soldier. For your happiness, stranger. You're going to find it. The concept of ideas is going to break you down suddenly. And then what are you going to do? You going to find anybody else to take care of you? No, of course not. Because you're not going to find the lips of a stranger. Not to kiss, but to look at and say, whoa, this idea is going to be like lights coming out of the sky when it's dark. Not from the sun, from the moon. Because suddenly everything is not so real. The eagle and the dove won't come back. They're gone. They never were here. All you needed was pins. All you needed was lead pencils. All you needed was an eraser. All you needed was yourself, really. But that's the problem. You need your pen. You need your pencil. You need your eraser. You need your computer. You need everything else. You need a glove. You need someone else to say, I'm cold, for you to put on a jacket. Yeah, that's right. Somebody else will say they're cold. Maybe you're not. But then they'll tell you put on a jacket. Or maybe they'll say, I want to see how tall you are. Let me measure. But do you really care? Do you? Of course you don't. Because it's not your story. Find it easily. But don't holler. Don't make any name calls. Don't even stutter. Because you found yourself. And I'm throwing down everybody within this concept. Within this mess of talk. I'm going to make you discover things, but within yourself. Like the hay master. Like horses eating hay. But remember, horses don't always only eat oats.